Hi, it's just Crafty Chantel and welcome to my channel. Unfortunately, I recorded this video without actually recording it, so I've gone through this box already. But this is the Mix and Match Embossing Folders Craft Kit. It is subscription box number 39 from Crafter's Companion, and you can always get tips and ideas from crafterscompanionbox.com. So let's run through what's in the box. And everything was packaged in the typical nice Crafter's Companion envelopes, but like I said, I made this video without hitting record, so everything is already unpackaged. We have our ribbons in lime, pink, and yellow, the corresponding gemstones. We have the stamps here: celebrate your day, sending warm wishes, life is beautiful, you're beautiful to me, you deserve a special day, the secret ingredient is love. So these can go either on the outside or inside of your card. We have a cut and emboss die, makes a nice edgeable, a chevron die, a lacy swirl die, and then this cute one with the dots. Then we have some die cut papers, which you can color with your ink stamps or with your Spectrum Noir pens in order to make flowers. We have some die cut sentiments that say happy birthday and with love. You can also color these in. And then we have our patterned paper and our solid color card. 3 sheets of each. So let's just run through these quickly. These are our pattern pieces. And then we have our solids. We have a nice bright orange, green, pink, coral, and lemon, like a limoncello looks like. So let's take a look at the front of the box and see how Crafter's Companion handled this. So here's the flower die. That looks like they've kind of folded the paper out. And then here is the cut and emboss edgeable die. And then we can see a couple of places where the stamps are. Oh, so it looks like they used it at the top and the bottom on that card. Brought in the ribbon there. Here is the swirl embossing folder. Either they may have colored that paper or used one of the papers in the kit. I don't remember seeing one like that. And use a lot of the stamps. And the stamp sentiments can go on the inside or outside, so that's pretty cool as well. So let me figure out what I'd like to do as a demonstration today. Okay, welcome back. I think I figured out what I want to do. I'm going to take the 6x6 card and do some matting and layering as per usual, I guess, with the green and then the multicolor. Oh, actually, no. I'm just going to go with the white and then the green, and then I'm going to use this lacy embossing folder because I think that that is really going to be able to show the design on the card side. And then we'll use these two for the sentiment, and just to make it easy on myself, I have these 2 frames that I'll use for my sentiment. And then I'd like to bring in these flowers. So I have some green and yellow stamp pads and some daubers. So I'll just see how that goes. I feel like I can just stamp down on it, but that's the plan over here. Then we have some ribbons and gemstones, and we'll pick a sentiment. And then over here I want to do the 5x7 in these 2 shades, yellow and maybe this peachy coral, and then the top in chevron, the bottom with the cut and emboss to make an edgeable feel, and then we'll come through with one of these yellow ribbons to make a nice bow, and then use the same dies for the sentiment. So let's get started by playing around with these flowers. Just pop one out, and this is just some kind of random stamp pad from Hobby Lobby that seems to be pretty inky. tweezer to hold the flower in place. And cut this dauber and go to town. Not too shabby. And then a couple of green leaves. Not too bad. Let's just put those off to the side to dry. And it looks like the flower is 3 layers, small, medium, large. So we have a yellow in the middle. So let's grab another dauber and do pink for the top. And then we'll do pink for the bottom. So again, we'll put those off to the side to dry. That was fun. That is not something that I have done before. I'm not going to use one of the center dots because I will just use a gemstone for that piece. So let's put these away. Okay, so now we have our card base, and then we're going to come in and do our first layer, which is going to be 5 1/4 by 5 1/4, and I'm choosing the bottom half because it has more of the design. And then oh, it looks like we need to go even smaller than that, huh, for our embossing folder. So what is this, like 5 by 5? Yep, 5 by 5. So we may actually have to have another layer. Or we'll just have big white trim. Yeah, we'll do a limoncello layer. These things can change on the fly. So there we go. And then that'll be that layer. Let's get this in here. it's too thin to go through the MIDI by itself. And it's probably too thick to go through the MIDI with a shim. Oh, nope. Goes through the MIDI. Oh, I broke the shim. So, too thick to go through the MIDI with both pieces of the folder. So, we're going to send it through with just one piece of the folder. I think I had my paper and the embossing folder backwards. So I debossed instead of embossed, but we're going to roll with it. So we have those two pieces, and then the next thing that we said we're going to do is work on our sentiment. So we're going to need some cardstock for our wording. And then we're going to need another cardstock for our framing. So let's put this one out here. And then let's go ahead and stamp in our sentiment. And then we will go ahead and run both of these through our Gemini MIDI, even though we cracked our folder. And let's see what this emerald dye looks like, since we're going with shades of green. This is quick dry smoked emerald. And we'll just do 2 passes of that. To get it nice and dark. Make our stamp and put it back. Just get a little piece of washi tape. Our sentiment in place. Turn it around. And since I busted my folder, I'll just come over here and use the Gemini Mini for this one. First guy. Second guy. Let's build our flower up. And then we'll put a nice pretty yellow stone in the center. Can run a green ribbon across. So let's get ready to put these pieces together. Should be a little neater than that. Neatness counts. And now we want to just dot on our flower. And our leaves. And our gemstone. So how about that? Life is beautiful. And this is the mix and match embossing folders. We used we debossed with this particular folder right here. I guess the name rubbed off on it. Okay. Let's move on to our next design. So for this one, we're going to use the 5x7 card, and then we're going to alternate with 2 different embossing folders. So let's first cut these pieces down. I know that I want the top one to be 5 inches wide. Well, actually, I want it to be 4 1/4 because I want it to be matted with the white natural cardstock. I want that to come through. And then if the whole card is 7, half is 3 1/2. That's a little low. So I'm going to take this to about 4. For my top piece. And then I'm going to take my bottom at 4 1/4. And we'll go 3. I'm going to go 3 1/4 just so I can get a little, no, 3, because I will get the overlap from leaving the white border for the matting. So how about that? So I do got a little overlap there. And then I'm going to just keep these pieces out so I can figure out how I want to do my sentiment. So I know I want the top part to be embossed with chevron. And so I want my folder to have the raised side pushing up into the cardstock, so that way I know it's embossing and not debossing. And the same with the bottom. So that means that my cutting is on the bottom, and Gemini made it even easier for me by putting the words on the front. So here's your sign. And I'm going to use my Gemini Pro and process both of these at the same time. And then I'm also going to do the frame for my text. I'm going to double up those. And get the large die that I'm using for my text. And since I'm embossing, I'll use my rubber mat, which has a hole in it. And then I'll use my clear plate. Let's see. I should follow the sandwich rules. Okay, so nothing there. We'll redo that in the mini. And so this is supposed to cut and emboss. That came out beautifully. And this embosses, and that is beautiful. So if you use your tools the way they're meant to be used, they will work out perfectly. I'm going to, again, do 2 of these, and we're going to try to do 2 at once. it's taking it. There we go. Because I want to do, I want to shadow these and kind of stagger them. Kind of like this. And then we'll still have to keep that one to the side for our text. So let's put this together and see what we're working with. And we still have to do our white for our sentiments, which we're going to use You Are Beautiful to Me. So we'll do that. And we will bring in our ultimate and make a yellow bow. And I have to figure out making these bows with the ultimate because I feel like I use too much ribbon. So you go like that, and that goes under and around. Okay, so I'm getting better. That one's not as bad. I just have to figure that out to make sure I'm not using too much ribbon, because I typically use the fork method. Somebody was so kind to put a YouTube video up on, but these are pretty neat. And I secure my bows with these glue dots, which I think I got these from Michael's. So so long ago that they're actually starting to get a little hard on the inside. And I'm going to move my dot around so that the edges of my bow are out or on the satin side. And then we'll just kind of angle these. These Zots by Thermoweb, they're like teeny tiny glue dots, and I like to use them to kind of keep my bows in place, or keep my bows from, you know, maneuvering all over the card. Like that. Bring that one over. Okay, so there we have it. 2 cards from the Crafter's Companion Mix and Match. You know, I do like some rhinestones. Mix and Match Embossing Folder Craft Kit. We used the square embossing folders, which is something awesome to have. They are, you know, a lot of kits don't come with square embossing folders. And then we also have this cut and embossing folder, which makes a nice edgeable. And then the kit came with some die cut flowers that we colored in with the daubers here. And just used some ink and colored them in, and did the same with the leaves. So those are all things that you can do and add your own personal touch. But I just wanted to take a minute to share with you a couple of ideas that came to me through the Mix and Match Embossing Folder Craft Kit, Crafter's Companion sub box number 39. Thank you and have a great day.